She finally said. I guess all that studying paid off. It wasn't exactly enthusiastic, but it wasn't negative either. I decided to take it as a win. Does this mean you're definitely moving away for college? She asked next. I explained that I was still deciding between schools, but yes, I would likely be living on campus somewhere. There was another pause. The kids will miss you, she said. And then, so quietly, I almost didn't hear it. We all will. It was the closest thing to an admission that they cared about me that I'd heard in years. I didn't know how to respond, so I just thanked her and said I'd see them on the weekend as usual. After that call, I sat on my bed for a long time, thinking about how much had changed in just a few months. I'd gone from being my parents' live-in nanny to living with my grandparents and winning a full scholarship to college. It wasn't the path I had expected my life to take, but maybe it was the one I needed. The next day at school, I found myself smiling for no reason throughout the day. The future that had seemed so bleak just months ago now looked bright and full of possibilities. I had people who believed in me and supported my dreams, and I was starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, I deserved that support all along. As April turned to May, things kept looking up. I spent most of my time at my grandparents' place, which honestly felt more like home than my parents' house ever did. I still went over every weekend to see my siblings, but those visits got less awkward as time passed. My mom actually started making small talk with me, and my dad at least stopped glaring at me from across the room. One Saturday in mid-May, something weird happened. I was playing with my youngest brother in the living room when my mom came in and just stood there watching us. After a few minutes, she cleared her throat. Julia, can we talk in the kitchen for a minute? My stomach immediately knotted up. Every time my parents wanted to talk, it ended with me feeling like crap. But I nodded and followed her. In the kitchen, she busied herself making coffee, not looking at me. I just stood there awkwardly, waiting for whatever bomb she was about to drop. Your father and I have been talking, she finally said, about your graduation next month. Oh right, graduation. With everything else going on, I'd barely thought about it. But now that she mentioned it, I realized I had no idea who would come to the ceremony. Would my parents even show up? Would it be super awkward having them and my grandparents in the same place? We want to host a small party for you, she continued, here at the house. After the ceremony, I must have looked completely shocked because she actually laughed a little. Don't look so surprised. You're still our daughter. I didn't know what to say. For months, they'd treated me like I was nothing but free labor, and now they wanted to throw me a graduation party? It didn't make sense. Why? I blurted out before I could stop myself. My mom's face fell a little. She put down her coffee cup and finally looked directly at me. Because we're proud of you, she said quietly. The scholarship, college. You've done well, Julia. I just stared at her. Who was this woman and what had she done with my mother? I wanted to ask if she was feeling okay, or if she'd been abducted by aliens. Before I could respond, my dad walked in. He nodded at me awkwardly, then grabbed a beer from the fridge. Your mom tell you about the party? He asked. I nodded, still too confused to form words. Good, he said. We were thinking just family. Your grandparents, Megan, a few aunts and uncles. They were including my grandparents, and Megan, the people who had basically rescued me from them. This was getting weirder by the minute. That sounds nice, I managed to say. Thank you. My dad nodded again and left the kitchen. My mom went back to fussing with coffee cups. I escaped back to the living room as soon as I could, my head spinning.